You already know what time it is. It is time for week 1 check-in. This is my 3rd attempt at The Artist Way, and I've just finished week 1. I'm posting here on TikTok because I need you guys to be my accountability buddies, and hopefully you guys will follow along in The Artist Way with me. Also, so sorry if you can hear children in the background. Week 1 was pretty awesome. I feel since I've done week 1 2 other times prior, it definitely wasn't as difficult for me as it was in the past. I used to hate journaling, but now journaling is one of my favorite things, which I never thought I would ever say. In the morning pages, I was able to work on a script that I'm writing right now. I was able to work on some character things, and that was really fun. And I also came up with my artist date for this week. Speaking of my artist date, I made a little video about it, and I think I'm definitely going to need to rearrange how I want to document those because it kind of got me out of the experience and I wasn't like really fully there. But hey, we're here to learn, we're growing, we're experiencing. I want to be able to document things here, but I also need to recognize that I probably won't be able to film everything. We'll have to work around some other creative ways to do artist dates, but I did have a lot of fun. And so I'm going to be posting a whole video on this week's artist date probably later this week. Biggest takeaways this week that I noticed was really recognizing the voice of my inner artist and my censor. For those of you that don't know, the artist is like the creative dreamer part of you, and the censor is kind of the ego, that inner critic, you know, that kind of, when you get a creative idea, you're like really excited about something, and then the inner critic is like, girl, no, you can't do that. That is your censor, and we don't want to listen to that. The second biggest takeaway, I know I mentioned in my last video that the whole reason why I was restarting The Artist Way was to get out of this perfectionism box that I've trapped myself in. I want to share a quick quote that she has in the book here, and what she says is, "It's impossible to get better and look good at the same time." And we have to allow ourselves to not look good. And I feel like this also can translate to content creation and posting video. I think so many of us want the first video to be so perfect that we don't even post it. I think it's worth it for you to post your first video and have it not look as great as you want it to be than to not post it at all. It of course can translate to any form of creativity. If you want to be a painter, a poet, an actor, a singer, you have to allow yourself to be a beginner. I've kind of reflected that nothing I ever do will be perfect, and I don't want it to be. Because, you know, life is messy, therefore acting is messy, creating is messy, but it's beautiful. It's not perfect, but it's beautiful, and I think that's what truly matters. Over here getting all cheesy and whatnot, but week 1 was a solid start. I do feel like it's not going to get too tough for me until we get to week 4, and I think that's when it's going to get really tough. But I'm really excited to see what week 2 will bring, and I hope you'll follow along.